Hello, hello, hello everybody, and welcome back to Johnny's Scrims. Today, we are going to be watching Yoinkers versus Jamyoole as the first match of the 4th week. And here today, we have me, Atro, as your guest play-by-play caster. And with me, we have Kev as our color caster.
What's up? What's going on? Back again. Week 4.
Yes.
Should be an interesting game.
Should be. Finally pause the music as well so everything can be heard. Well, I mean, you guys have seen already these two teams. I only seen the Yoinkers before, haven't really been keeping up with the whole Johnny Screams league, but from what I've seen, they look like strong contenders as well. Jamyoole looks like a base team as well.
Yeah, these two teams are known to be quite strong. Jamyoole won it season 1 of Johnny Scrims, and unfortunately been playing quite poor this season. However, Yoinkers, on the other hand, have been playing very well this season, and have won all their games and very convincingly. So this should be an interesting matchup between these two teams. They definitely know each other and have played against each other and have been scrim partners in the past. So this is a bit of a rivalry game now between these two teams.
That will be interesting. Although first map, seeing as it is Nepal, team comps are gonna be pretty. I would think pretty one-sided, but.
Yeah, again, I would expect Yoinkers to run this rush comp, this Ryan's area, kind of a real fast style comp with the May. They like to run it. They've run it on this map before. This is their map pick. They're comfortable on this. So I expect to see that from them. I expect maybe a double bubble comp on the side of Jamyoole. We'll see what. Oh, they're going with the full dive. Interesting.
They are. And they're not even running that Wrecking Ball that we always know. It's so broken. Well, let's see. No engage yet. It seems that the Lucia is going to be the first one coming in from the Yoinkers. And the point is already being a bit balled in. Let's see. Okay then. Okay, already first pick from King Raptor taking on Tommy B as a Sombra. And Mist is already going down to low HP. He has to back down, but he's blocked away by the May wall and he's taken out. Cryptid, GDB as well, pushing in so hard. It seems that Jamyoole already off to such a disadvantageous push just because they were running that dive comp. They had no control.
Okay, yeah, that first call was a quick team fight win from Yoinkers. That rush comp, they ran straight into Jamyoole, catching them off guard and getting an early pick on the Sombra was very, very big for Yoinkers. But now they switch up onto a more brawly style comp for Jamyoole.
Indeed they did, and it seems like already the first pick goes on, Baptiste goes dead, and it seems already Jamyoole is kind of off in a corner. They don't know what to do, they're all scattered about. Antarctic also getting killed, but taking the trade with Brigida. GDB taking in the Ryan 1v1 and winning, but it seems like Hayes was all by himself on the point, and May is already getting a few picks there with the McCree. Tommy B as well, taking on King Raptor, and the point is really looking off to a good start for Jamyoole. But the shatter goes through, finds through from GDB, and already one goes through. Will he find a second back? He is hacked, and he's gonna get taken down. The Immortality Field can't change that. There you go already. Oh, but the barrier goes out from Johnny Scrims, who finds a double kill here on Misty as well. The point is just being stalled on over and over by Yoinkers, and they really have that point pressure to keep it on there.
Yeah, Jamyoole seem to back out now. Now I like to see this Macy G's now on the Cree. This is where he's comfortable. We've seen him in the past being forced onto the Tracer and stuff, but now he's onto these hit scan style players. The Cree, he's comfortable on the Widow, he's comfortable on. So this is where Jamyoole should shine.
Oh, but the huge graph already goes through, finds 6 men. Finds 5 actually, and GDB gets taken out. A huge EMP with the High Noon takes out Haze Diva as well. Only Cryptid on the point really, and it seems like Johnny Scrims is doing so much damage onto Misty, taking him down. It's only the Zarya from the side of Jamyoole who's outputting so much damage and pressure onto the point, onto the control point. Johnny Scrims can't even hold that one, and it seems like Brigida's the only one getting taken out. They can't really do any more. Yoinkers pushed it in to 99% on the last fight. We're taking.
So we see now that Jamyoole are coming in with these ults. They've got 4 ults on their end. They've got the Beat, the Shatter, the Grav, and they've got Window. We'll hopefully see a good ult rotation. They might only need to use Window and use it early because Corrupted does have Mailed. So if they use one ult, get a team fight win out of it, and start cycling these ults, I can see a good comeback here.
Yes, indeed. But already the Grav going out with the Z barrier coming in from the Baptiste Rafa. Tommy B gets taken out. Takes out Cryptid, excuse me, and Brigida as well gets out. GDB gets off in the corner by the Maywall, and it seems like this is a very good counter push by Jamyoole.
Yeah, very good on the side of Jamyoole. They're only using Window and Grav, and now they have Shatter, they have High Noon, and they still have Beat for the next fight. However, on the side of Yoinkers, they're coming up to Shatter, they have the High Noon, and they will have Window on to the next fight. So quite even. But Jamyoole, again, if I was Yoinkers, I would hold up. Do another dry fight. Get ults out and build up the ults of your own. And then use them all. You only need to win one more fight.
Oh, but the push is already coming in from the bottom side of the right side of the right part of the map. High Noon goes out from King Raptor. Johnny Scrims with the barrier as well. Shatter goes out, doesn't find anyone from the side of GDB. But High Noon and barrier come in from Maisie G and Antarctic. Already a few picks there, and nobody finds the Shatter with from Misty. Misty gets taken out himself, and AZG gets taken out as well by Brigida. It seems like the point is already being taken on by Yoinkers, but the grab was kind of wasted there, blocked by a Maywall. The point is just an all-out brawl here, and Antarctic getting taken out is a huge pick for Yoinkers. No more healing. King Raptor with a double kill from the soldier pick. Barrier also goes out from Brigida. And there we go, the third. Triple kill. Can he find the fourth? Yes, they do with the help of Brigida. And it seems like Yoinkers is taking back the point, but can he stall it? Can Antarctic stall it? No, he cannot. Getting charged by GDB. This will be the first point for Yoinkers.
A very, very nice win on the side of Yoinkers. A good pick from Corrupted on that last fight. A very necessary pick that swung things in Yoinkers' favour. However, on the side of Jamyoole, Yoinkers thrive in this rush style comp. This is what they want to run. It's what they're best at. They were good at goats when you seen them in Watchers League. They're good at this rush style comp. So now it'll be interesting. Now we're going to see something from Jamyoole, which I'm hoping they do throughout this. We see Tommy B on the Doom. Now this is one for people to watch. Oh, and the switch up is unfortunate, but I would like to see him on the Doom, and hopefully eventually, if it is one of his best heroes and has carried in the past. So I think Jamyoole are going to have to switch up to something, and quite clear they're going to run this double shield on the point, which is a very good comp.
I am really amazed that Cryptid decided to go with the Pharah pick instead of the Echo, which is very OP at this point in the meta, in my opinion.
But yeah, exactly. Echo is very strong at the minute, especially compared to the Pharah, and even in the 1v1s.
Oh, but already the Symmetra TP gets Jamyoole onto the point in a tight little corner they have there with a double shield. Flakeshwurst still already getting the kill on King Raptor. That's a very early pick on the McCree. It seems like the Maywall was put up so that the Pharah can't output more damage, and the Reinhardt is staying with her. Just to hold. GDB, no more shield. They've already taken the point. Jamyoole are playing this a bit smart, but it seems like Yoinkers just have to think a bit and take their time to see how they want to push this. And already the barrage goes out from Cryptid, who gets taken down instantly. Everybody getting saved from the side of Jamyoole by Rafa. There we go. Already the not the immortality field. The barrier goes out from Rafa, getting the kill onto Johnny Scrims. Misty actually charged in there by himself and got taken out. And Johnny Scrims got revived. GDB getting taken down by going into far. The Maywall was such a huge play over there by Tommy B, taking out both of the tanks. And he seems like only the Hounds who can't really do much by himself. He's going to be taken a bit back. Can he find the pick on the Ursa? No, he cannot. And the Yoinkers.
Yeah, this is very smart from Jamyoole. They're playing in the back corner and very poor from Yoinkers. They held the high ground for some reason. Even though Jamyoole are not going to rush them, they're not going to leave this point. And they allowed the Pharah just to get ult up, but let her use it on her own without following up on the other side. So we're very poor from Yoinkers.
She even used it, right? But she got so very closed off by all the defensive abilities. Oh, and already here, this is going to be huge. The barrage goes out, but a 5-man shatter. It's so huge there. Cryptid finds a 3-per kill with one single rocket. And that's a very quick retake by Yoinkers.
That was very nice. A huge shatter on the side of G. A bit uncoordinated with the teams with Window and Fire Strike. You need to coordinate that Window and Fire Strike, and G had used Fire Strike, and then Johnny followed up with the Window. And it might seem like something small, but all these things against a comp that Jamyoole are running are super important. You have to nail these combos right.
Right, but let's see how they're gonna do on the left side of the map. Here already the graph goes out, and the combo with the dragon from Hanzo. The double kill here is huge for Yoinkers that they have to push back. Jamyoole have to just retreat and wait for everybody to come back.
Very smart grab from Hayes on the side of Yoinkers. He split the Rhine off, so even if Rafa used his Immo, he was cut off from line of sight, which means Immo made no difference to the dragon. So a really, really interesting grab from Hayes. Very smart.
And they also had to do that, right? Because it's 68% for Jamyoole on the point right here. Oh, and the barrage already goes out from the back. It takes out Maisie G and a hell of a lot of damage coming in to Rafa. Antarctic, who just get taken out. Misty as well. GDB is just swinging about and finding a quad kill. D.Va just wants to get out of there, but it seems like Haze D.Va also wants to get the kill on there. Just doesn't manage.
Yeah, it was poor ult tracking from Jamyoole there. They should have recognized that Farah had been, since the very first fight, since Farah's used her ult. And it's very common for Farah to play above roof, so they should have expected that.
Oh, and the huge first pick from Corrupted, taking on the pick onto Maisie G, and a huge shatter as well from GDB. He seems to be on a roll today with the Reinhardt. That was huge. Just one ult to counter all that push that they waited so much time to get back. The questionable dragon from King Raptor.
Yeah, G has really stepped it up this game on his Ryan. Very, very impressive Ryan performance out of him, G.
Antarctic and neither the D.Va can really touch the point here, and the first map goes over to Yoinkers.
Yeah, strange first map. A poor showing from Jamyoole there. A bit all over the place after they lost that point on the second map. They kind of didn't know what to run. They kind of went with this rush comp, but they ran the D.Va instead of the Zarya. They didn't really know. It was weird. They looked confused. They didn't look sure of themselves. But hopefully now they'll step it up.
Well, I mean, this was really well played by both teams, I think. Jamyoole got some good counterattacks in there as well, but Yoinkers were just on point, right? You can't really tell them anything. They did everything perfect.
Yeah, they did, and especially one thing now Jamyoole could take, the only really thing I think they can take from that is when they played slow on point, they won that first point, they won with the double shield on the second map, they won that first point, they won the point because Yoinkers played slow, and when Yoinkers play slow, that's when they make mistakes. They're quite good when they're playing this attack comp, they're playing aggressive comp, but when they're forced to play slowly, that's when they make mistakes, and they made very obvious mistakes. So it'll be interesting to see maybe Jamyoole switch up this style and try catch Yoinkers off. Maybe force Yoinkers onto something slower and force them out of their comfort zone, because at the minute Yoinkers are firing on all cylinders.
Right. Well, now it is going to be interesting to see what map Jamyoole picks here, right? Because they played very well on that defensive side at the start. If they want to do something like that again, then they might want to pick a map that kind of favors that playstyle, right?
Yeah, they're coming on to Root now, and Root is a map that Jamyoole favor this double bubble comp with. This is a comp they like to run. Now they did run it poor in the previous match, but they used to be very comfortable on this comp. They really liked running it. It was quite they got to play a lot of their comfort heroes. So it'll be interesting now to see how they play this. I'm hoping we'll see the Jamyoole of old, the Jamyoole of last season, now and starting on this map.
Well, I can't really give my opinion, seeing as this is the first time I'm seeing them play, but it seems like both the teams' coordination, at least, is there, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Their neutral fight gameplay has been really, really good. Mainly on Yoinkers, I would like to see Jamyoole stepping it up a bit, but Yoinkers' neutral fight gameplay has been really impressive, especially on this rush comp. But now we'll see, because Jamyoole will prefer this double bubble, we'll see what Yoinkers are forced onto. If they run this double bubble, we do know G has quite a good Winston. And that's the big thing you need to look out for. The Winston plays in this. To see the discipline in the Winston, to take that damage and build up that nano and then play aggressive. But again, when playing double bubble on defense is a lot easier on attack here. You can go over aggressive on attack, dive the high ground and get punished. Whereas if you play slowly on defense, you can play the high ground, stay in cover and build that nano easily. So it'd be interesting to see how these teams play this comps.
Right. And as for team compositions, do you see anything that really stands out, or is this just the basic Route 66 teams that you would expect?
Actually, yeah, we have Tommy B on the Genji now. This is a new one because you ran the Echo in the past, but Tommy B Genji has been known as his strongest hero. He's known for the Genji. These kind of high-skilled heroes is what he's good at. So now that they've decided to make the decision, I think this could be an interesting. Oh, unfortunately, he's come back to the Echo, which is unfortunate.
There you go. All that praising just for nothing.
That's for nothing.
Okay, well, they are definitely just waiting to get into that choke point, right? But two monkeys here might seem problematic for both of the Echoes. Tracer already going in the back, kind of Maisie G trying to fight some damage in, but doesn't really manage. He goes back to the payload, and it seems like just a series of just ult charge going on back and forth, trying to get it. Already the charge, not the charge, the picks already come from Tommy B getting taken out by Corrupted, and Maisie G also trading in with that Sombra. It seems like the fight will be taken onto the high ground, and the payload not be pushed anymore because Misty actually got it taken out by Haze Diva, who is pretty high charge, who is fairly high charge right now. And it seems like Jamyoole right now are just desperately trying to regroup, trying to go back and see what they can do.
Yeah, an interesting push from Jamyoole. Missy did quite well there. Previous game she overextended the last day, but there she played slowly and did get some value. But the flank from the Zarya, from the Zen, was quite strange, leaving Car alone on point, and it didn't pay off. So hopefully now they might push that Car up further this time and get onto the high ground as a team.
Well, it definitely seems like GDB is aggressive enough, right? He's staying onto the payload, not letting them push at all. Look at this. And Haze Diva actually found a real good pick onto Rafa, who can't build up his Transcendence anymore. And it looks like Maisie G also getting taken out by Johnny Scrims. This could prove very huge right now. A lot of time being taken off from the time pool of Jamyoole. Only 2 minutes left, and only to the first choke point.
I mean, this is an impressive Yoinkers. This is a different Yoinkers than we've seen before, especially last season. G's been very disciplined on the Winston and getting huge value out of it.
Yeah, there you go, and already, even though he used his ultimate with the nano, he's gotten fair use out of it, finding a double kill here, also Tommy B getting taken out. It seems like both of the supports are out for Jamyoole, but Maisie G in the back doing a lot of damage, taking out Johnny Scrims. But it seems like they just don't have that pushing power. King Raptor even finds the pick onto Misty, and again, they're just forced to go back.
Yeah, and now we have both teams have their ults up. They have a huge ult advantage. So now it's going to see which team gets the most value out of their ult. Maybe they'll use grab the punish G, catch him out of position and get that early pick on the Winston, but you never know how it plays out.
Right. Oh, and already it seems like Tommy B went on to copy the Winston. Didn't really find any picks yet, but he's onto the back line, while Corrupted finds a double kill onto their back line. This is just a fight in the back lines, it seems, because nobody's even touching the payload. They don't even care about that. Misty finds the pick onto King Raptor, as Corrupted gets taken out as well. No DPS for the side of Yoinkers. It seems like only the Brigida can really stay on the payload to support it, but even that's not enough.
Yeah, even though Jamyoole did win that fight, we're looking at now an ult advantage severely on the side of Yoinkers. They've got the EMP, which is huge, and Rafa is going to have to play safe here and hide with Transcendence. And we do have Corrupted's copy. So unless Maisie G can pull out a big bomb here to clutch this up.
Oh, but Corrupted with the copy again onto the Winston. They really love to copy this Winston. Output a lot of damage onto the back line, and it seems like the fight has already started. Tommy B getting taken out as well with the trade on to King Raptor from Antarctic. But already the Transcendence goes out from Rafa, trying to save his Brigida, trying to save Maisie G. Is it enough? Is it enough? The bubbles going on from Haze Diva, just holding down that point. But he's talked off in a corner, and he gets taken out by Maisie G as well. This is just an all, bro, but the MP goes out, it's huge, finds 4 people. Actually, another trade from the supports, Johnny Scrims and Antarctic. The Brigida gets taken out as well, and King Raptor seems to find no end. GDB getting taken down by Tommy B, and finally Jamyoole got to the first point.
Yeah, very, very long and messy fight, but Jamyoole eventually got it there. King Raptor did come back with the EMP and did get it off, and it was a nice EMP, but just didn't have the follow up from it. Now we have Tommy onto the Genji, and we'll see will he stick with this Genji. They don't have an Ana to pair off for a Nano Blade, so it's going to be very hard for them to get value from the Nano Blade, but they don't have the Nano either to go onto the Winston. So a strange style mix up now onto the side of Jamyoole for this double comp. They're nearly trying to protect the Zen more, if anything.
Yeah, but the Zen is playing very aggressively, as we can see onto the left flank, and already he gets taken out just by playing that aggressively. King Raptor might just want to get out of there, and that he does with the Translocator. This is already a 5v6, so it's not looking too good for Jamyoole. They have to kind of wait here, but they already popped off the rally from Antarctic, and it seems like they're ready to go. GDB is just there, waiting to get it, and already a huge double kill onto the supports from Maisie G with the Pulse Bomb. on Tardik as well. Picks off King Raptor. And this looks like a one fight for Jamyoole finally.
Yeah, that was very, very nice from Jamyoole. Very, very good play from Maisie G, especially when they lost their Zen, and was very poor from Yoinkers. Yoinkers got the advantage, like you said. It was a 5v6, but Yoinkers still sat back and played really safe instead of taking the initiative, taking the advantage of the six man over the 5 and going aggressive, and they allowed Jamyoole to use their ults and a huge
I
combo.
think what happened there was that GDB wasn't really in charge anymore, and it seems like this time as well, he just went in by himself and got taken out, even though Echo used her copy. Tommy B finds a double kill into the back line, taking out both of the supports, and already the second point seems to have gone to Jamyoole.
Just like that, we're through the second point after a long and messy fight. Jamyoole seem to have found their groove now. And looking very good, using their ults early, catching Yoinkers with the pants down. And yeah, now Yoinkers look definitely confused and all over the place. And this is how Jamyoole wanted. This is where they can turn this game around.
What I was amazed of here was that Fleischwurst was able to push so deep into enemy lines and still get out. The support seems to be doing their job onto the side of Jamyoole, but already it seems like the push started finally coming in from GDB's side, and a huge EMP catching 5 men. That is huge. Can take out Rafa. No, they can't, because GDB goes down, actually. He was low HP. Nobody could heal him. And it seems like Hayes just wants to get out of there. They're not playing as a team. They're playing really, really by themselves, and already a huge grav gets them all killed. Yoinkers need to find their groove again, or they're not going to be able to defend this.
Yeah, a very poor EMP from King Raptor there. He EMP'd, he got a 4-man EMP, but the only people who could follow up with it was him and was King Raptor and G. So, and then Yoinkers come back, Jamyoole come back with his very, very coordinated dive. So it was very nice from Jamyoole.
And Maisie G is outputting so much damage as Misty just finds a double kill here. This is huge right now. It seems like with 1 minute on the payload, Yoinkers are just trying to stall as much as they can, waiting maybe to trigger overtime, but they might not even be able to do that. Transcendence even goes out to top it off, and Tommy B is ready to take out any deserters. And there you go.
This is the first time I have seen Jamyoole perform at this level. After that first point, that's the best I've seen Jamyoole perform all of this league. Nearly everything was coordinated. The cart didn't stop. Their ults are on point, and Yoinkers are now in trouble. If this is the Jamyoole we see for the rest of this, it's going to be a close game.
I think what happened there was that they got pretty scared at the first choke. They couldn't really get past it. And Jamyoole just thought, okay, let's change up positions. Let's see, how do we go about this? Just play more aggressively, right? Find the picks and go in. And that's what they did every time. They played together.
Absolutely, yeah. They got more coordinated. They switched Tommy B onto the Genji, and in prior matches, I've never been a fan of the Genji, especially in the neutral fight. But Tommy B is definitely making it work here. And Misty's Winston, and a big shout out to Maisie G, who's really stepped it up on the Tracer, who hasn't been too strong on the Tracer in previous matches, but that holds too. That's from the second point on there was purely dominating that game. So this is a very strong Jamyoole team now coming into this defense, and hopefully now they don't play as aggressive. They use this high ground because it is such a strong high ground, especially if a team is trying to dive that Zen. You've got Brig there to punish the Winston and your team to follow up on it. So it'll be interesting now to see how they play this out.
Right. Well, let's see what's going to happen in this push, because even though we saw such a brilliant performance from the side of Jamyoole, they are on the defense right now. Can they pull off the amazing defense that GDB was pulling off? Clearly, at the first choke, he was the only one really getting onto that payload. So let's see if Misty can compare to that.
Absolutely, and we see weirdly Tommy B onto the McCree and Maisie G onto the Sombra. A bit of a change up.
Oh, and already it seems like G just wants to play aggressive, get that ult charge and go in. Let the healers get as much ult charge as they can early on. As the payload is still being pushed, it seems like Jamyoole isn't really finding the rhythm, doesn't want to push the payload. GDB kind of pushing in way too far, and he gets taken out by Tommy, who is playing the McCree. Seems like Haze Diva is ready to counteract their Zarya, and that he does, he takes it out. But sadly, Misty just goes too far in, and they both get taken out. Corrupted, ready to go. Let's see. Tommy B seems to be the only one really outputting damage here, as he is the only one left on the front line. He's gonna have to counter the supports if he wants to stay alive, and it seems like already Sombra was forced to use the translocate, go back. Is first point going to be this easy for Jamyoole? For Yoinkers, excuse me. Already a pulse bomb finds a double kill in the back. That is huge from King Raptor. Finds the triple kill as well. That was really, really, really well played. That was a quadra
Oh,
kill.
I mean, when you have a Tracer coming out with a quad kill, what can you do? That was absolutely huge from King Raptor. But one thing I do want to point out here is the defense from both the tanks, from Missy and Fleischwurst, on the side of Jamyoole. For some reason, when they got the pick onto G, they played super aggressive. Fleischwurst, if I'm pronouncing that right, dropped off the high ground and got picked. And then Missy went really aggressive onto the backline and got picked and turned this fight around for Yoinkers. They did this the last day and they're starting to show this again. And it's just, if they keep doing that, they're not. This game is not going to be pretty for them.
Indeed, but let's see if this high noon will be used as correctly as I think it will be. As already Nano goes on through onto G, who maybe will be able to find the pick onto Tommy, but it looks like not. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does, finally. There you go. Took a bit, but he can do it at the end. But the huge EMP actually finds a 4-man. Is this enough to just let everybody not push? Oh, they invested a grav in here as well, just trying to clean up. Also, a lot of ults being pressed here. It looks like even Brigitte thought that rally would be a good idea here. Just get back, don't give them more ult charge than they already have. But G's getting taken down the second time in this fight.
Like you said, a lot of ults invested there. They had got you got a big EMP, but for some reason, after they were 2 up, they seemed to want to invest a Grav and a Primal, which are 2 huge ults you don't want to be investing with your EMP. You want to start cycling those ults. And then, strangely enough, Brigitte decided to invest her rally as well, like you pointed out. And even though the fight's lost, that's still an ult you want to keep. It's still a good ult. So, strange ult usage there from both teams.
Indeed, but already a huge first pick from AZG finds Corrupted. And with that, they might be deterred Yoinkers to really not push this as hard, but it seems like Misty has something else in mind, taking out Johnny Scrims and also going to the back line. Finds GDB, finds Hayes Diva as well. This is huge right now. Good counter pick. Good counter pick. No, good counter attack here.
Yeah, it was very coordinated from Misty and Fleischwurst. Better aggression. They went in with the bubble onto the Winston to block that shield bash, and then Misty was able to follow up to get a pick, and a very, very nice pick from AZG on Corrupted early in that fight to win that fight straight away.
Oh, but a solo grab onto Misty! Actually, mid-air he finds it with a pulse bomb as well. They really want him taken down. The copy goes out as well from Corrupted. Will he be able to find a lot from it? No, he doesn't, because he's EMP'd instantly, and the grab actually finds ASMR Hayes Diva. GDB gets taken down as well by Tommy B, and it seems like Corrupt is the only one that can really keep a front line anymore, not even. Huge anti-nade coming in from Johnny Scrims, but he's low HP. King Raptor gets taken down by Antarctic. And this fight's all over the place again, as Misty came back from that solo grab and be able to take back the control they had over the payload.
Yeah, I liked the solo grab, but I didn't like the ults that followed. You wasted a lot of ults, and then all it took was Maisie G to use EMP to slow down the fight.
It seems like Misty decided to use his Primal Rage onto Hayes just to really not get him with his team, just to hold him back.
Yeah, it's a very interesting fight. A very, very strong performance from Jamyoole, and very nice positioning from Rafa with the trans. He's playing safe, but also got a big trans off for Ivor's fight to keep him in the game.
It seems like GDB just wants to go in by himself, doesn't even care if he's discorded, but that doesn't stop him. King Raptor found a pick onto Misty, and it seems like the copy already went by again. No, the rally actually from Antarctic, but Tommy B gets taken out with a trade from Corrupted, and the payload's still in the possession of Yoinkers. Jamyoole have to do something about this, just regroup, take some picks, and go back, but will Sombra be able to find this pick onto King Raptor? No, he doesn't. And it seems like the Nano G can't really jump away. He's been hacked, but he's getting a lot of healing from the back, and it seems like even though he's Nano, he doesn't want to go in. He thinks he's going to get taken out, but the huge sleep onto Tommy B. No more damage coming in from the right flank. GDB just jumps into Stratosphere, and a good grab, I think, in my opinion. Gets 2 kills there.
Very nice grab from Fleischwurst there. Turned that fight in their favor.
Indeed. And another fight won for Jamyoole.
Yeah, very, very strong. They knew the soft reset, hold that door, prevent Yoinkers from playing super aggressive, and were able to get a full fight in for the last for that defense. And now it's only coming down to this last push from Yoinkers, so they need to build up this grav. They'll have High Noon, they'll have the copy, but EMP from Maisie G is going to be the big one here.
As you say, this is the last fight, and the Yoinkers decide to push it down from the back onto the right flank, and the payload's being pushed. Already a 5-man EMP. Copy goes on through from the Echo. Corrupted finds the pick onto Misty, but already another huge grab actually coming in from Hayes. Is this enough? Can they push? Yes, they can! With the huge C9! With the grab.
Oh,
That was really, really, really well played by Hayes.
the grab from Hayes, keeping them from the point, very smart. Especially when Rafa was in the middle of using his Transcendence. I was very, very lucky from Yoinkers and a bit of big brain play from Hayes there. A nice pick, however, from Brigitte onto Meiji G on the Lucio when EMP was used. It really turned the fight around as well.
And it seems like Hayes decided to actually switch to D.Va himself after he used that great grab. No ult charge, no charge, just switch to something that outputs a bit more damage early on, right? But already G's fighting himself at half HP. Maybe he will get out of this alive, but maybe not. He has to use his Primal Rage, and High Noon goes out from the back. From King Raptor, excuse me. Finds Fleischwurst, and that's the counter High Noon, actually. Doesn't find anyone, but it is good to output some more damage. The rally coming in from Antarctic was huge just to get them more armor, and it seems like this is just an all-out brawl. Hayes find the kill onto Misty, but the trade coming in from GDB. Johnny Scrims gets taken down as well, and only D.Va on the point is going to be staggered a bit as the baby form. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
This is going to be a big stagger, and to be honest, I think this stagger is going to be the winning for Jamyoole here. They've got EMP again. Meiji G is farming these EMPs. This is like, he's had an EMP for the last 2 fights now, and this is incredible.
And he's used this also every fight, and this is huge as well. Finds the Lucio and GDB with it. But the Monkey isn't gonna really use those abilities that much, and the High Noon goes on through Jamyoole with a huge picks here. Managed to get themselves the second map. Wow.
That's it. Yeah, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a game after that match. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. Jamyoole really turning things around, and that's the best I think I've seen them since this season 2 has started. But yeah, this 4K was insane.
Right, let's see King Raptor finding this. First the double kill with the Pulse Bomb, and then he goes in with his Echo. Actually, that's copied onto the Winston. And this was huge.
Yeah, it was a very, very good piece of individual play from King Raptor, but unfortunately, Yoinkers did come short. A very, very good defense on second point and on the last point, especially. This is a Jamyoole team now that we haven't seen in a while. They're on their heroes. We have Misty. She's back onto the Winston instead of the ball and looking way, way more comfortable. The plays with her and Fleischwurst are definitely a lot better, especially in that second point defense. It was very, very good Winston's area play. And weirdly enough, we had Tommy B on the McCree and Maisie G on the Sombra, which normally would be the other way around. But for some reason, it seemed to work. Maisie G was farming those EMPs nearly every fight. So look, this is a very interesting Jamyoole team, and I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Right, but what do you think happened in Jamyoole for them to go like, yes, we need to stop this, we need to actually play together and get our bearings back, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's this change up of we now see we've seen Tommy B onto the Creed. They played this a bit more passive play style, nearly inviting Yoinkers onto them, and played it really well. And Tommy B got a lot of value on the Creed. Macy G got a lot of value on the Sombra, but also the supports played really well. Antarctic playing super strong on the Brig, really showing it's a comfortable pick for her. And so would Rafa on the Zen. They're playing far back. They're nearly baiting G onto them and baiting Yoinkers onto them and punishing them, especially on that defense. So look, this is a very interesting Jamyoole team. So I'm looking forward to seeing them now, especially on Kingsrow, which will definitely suit Yoinkers' playstyle more. In this, it is a rush style map. It's very rush favored. So yeah, I think this is this should be a good match.
For MVPs up until now, what are you thinking? Who's has outputted the most pressure, the most picks? I don't know. Who has really stood out?
It's been interesting because we've had two kind of very strong sides. We had Yoinkers performing really strong in the first map, and we have Jamyoole performing really well in the second map. I definitely think I want to pay more attention to the supports there because we see a lot of big nades coming out from the side of Johnny, who is going to be playing this Anna Morse. It's his strong hero. It's what he's good at. He's got these interesting nade spots, and definitely Rafa on the Zen and Antarctic on the Brig. That combo definitely seems to be working. But so far, I've been impressed with G's Ryan on the first match, and I've definitely been impressed with Fleischwurst Zarya. Um, on that second half. Very, very impressive grabs, especially on the last fight, getting the grab onto the Sombra just to clutch it up. These smart plays on Zarya's. Um, yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I think it's up in the air at the minute. Two one-sided games. I don't know. What about yourself? What do you feel?
Well, I definitely feel like the play of the game, even though it was very deserved by Tracer to get a 4K for your team, that is huge for one single push. But I think the second point winning Brav there from Hayes was the absolute play of the game. And honestly, from Jamyoole's side, even though we haven't seen much, I think Antarctic has had some really good rallies that kind of been over our heads. And like Tommy B as well, getting those Genji plays were definitely very important for his team. But I feel like they kind of Jamyoole kind of hoped on that too much. They were just waiting to farm that Grav Blade and just go in with that. Hopefully they get enough picks to just push by at the start, right? But then they found out their rhythm with that McCree, with that Echo. They knew what they were doing at the end, right?
Yeah, and you did bring it up there. I had completely forgot how he was grab on that second play. That was insane. To be honest, that was nearly my play of the game as well on that match. It didn't show because you're not going to get that play of the game, but it was such an intelligent grab and actually kept them in to for the third point. So it was a nice pick up there. I completely forgot about it. Huge brain played from Hazley.
Hmm.
What do you think now? What do you expect to see for Kingsrow?
Well,
What are you looking for?
for Kingsrow, I'm definitely expecting to see a bit of Wrecking Ball coming out, right? We haven't seen enough of that. And with the way G's been playing his monkey and Hayes has been really playing a good off tank, if we're gonna. I really think that a double bubble will maybe come on from Jamyoole again. Or if not that, at least a double main tank, because they're gonna be finding themselves being pressured off into a corner, at least at the first point of King's Row, right? So when they're gonna be finding that, they will be expecting to either go with double bubble, play aggressively themselves, or just get the DPS for it, right? The Hanzo, a Mei, something to just hold them off there and break their shields.
Yeah, I agree. I think Yoinkers will be wanting to push this rush comp. It's what they were good at on first map. I think they're going to want to force it. And like I said, I do expect Jamyoole on first point attack, especially, to run that double bubble comp. I've seen them run it before. They ran it with the Genji to build up all the rolls, and they'll take that first point. They're quite good at building up the Nano really quickly. And I would expect them to see running something a bit more slower, then maybe to slow down Yoinkers and bring them back into bring back to Jamyoole's kind of level. But look, Fleischwurst has been very strong on this area, so maybe you never know. They could find their comfort. I know Tommy B is quite a good May, so they might run this May comp like you said. But look, it's all up in the air to be honest. At this point, we've seen
Hmm.
a load of different comps, a load of different heroes coming out. So who knows?
Who knows what's gonna happen, right? But I am wondering though, because I haven't really kept up. Is this the best out of three or is this the best out of five?
This is the best out of five.
Okay, yeah. So for the first two maps here, this might just be them getting themselves warmed up here, and they're really banking everything on the next two, because it is 1-1. Anything's possible. Although I am curious. Do you think they're gonna draw this?
I don't know now. To be honest, yeah, Jamyoole have been, or actually no, are the leagues kind
Oh,
of. Oh shit.
why are we back into Route 66? There you go. So you were saying about Jamil?
Sorry, Jamyoole are known for the leagues. Uh, are the league's kind of reverse sweep kind of champions. They've done it the very first match they played. They reverse sweeped it, and they ended up coming. They brought it back from being 2-0 down to bringing it to 6 matches. They drew one, and they brought it back to 6 and ended up winning the last one. So you never know what this game could go on for. But look, Jamyoole will always surprise us. I feel.
Right. Well, definitely some players are standing out. Others are just the backbone of their teams. The supports, as per usual, aren't really getting that much love, but I think that they've all played amazingly so far, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna try out next. Well, let's
Yeah, I
see,
think.
because Kingsrow is always a fun map, right? You always see it in every match that's competitive, at least. Because it's one of the best, so...
Yeah, it tends to be a fan favorite, Kingsrow. But I think now that we have Yoinkers on the defense, starting off, maybe look out for these. Oh, we do. I was going to say look out for these Johnny Scrims nades, but we see a BAP coming out instead. So interesting. But I'm liking this comp that we see Jamyoole running at the start here.
Is Maisie G and
Uh,
Tommy B really gonna do this to us? Go for the Bastion Symmetra here. That would be interesting, but they decided to switch back to a Genji, perhaps. This will be interesting to see.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm trying to get a read on what they're going to pick, but I cannot. I don't understand it. Maybe this Farah pick, they might slow it down. I don't expect Maisie G to run the Genji here. He's a very strong hit scan. Ah, here we go on the Kree.
But let's see. Corrupted actually went for the May comp, right? So we might be seeing some stagger coming out from the side of Yoinkers, just hoping they don't get too this first point pushed too hard and maybe just give it up at like 2 seconds. But already the Hearts push going in, a huge May wall coming in from both sides. It seems like GDB is trying to find a pick. He finds it on Fleischwurst, even though it was aimed for the Reinhardt. That was huge and lucky, but already they're forced to go back as Corrupted finds the pick on AZG and Rafa goes down with him.
Yeah, that charge really was clutch because they did, for some reason, the Yoinkers are letting Jamyoole come around. Now, that statue in the middle, you really should be playing around that statue because you've got a choke left and right of it that play into May's stronghouse. You can nearly choke a team off and split them there. Instead, they kind of backed up and let Jamyoole onto the point. But I would like to see them play on this choke, play behind that mini, and use Maywall then to your advantage.
Yeah, but the speed boost already on from the right side, and another Maywall, not really the best for Jamyoole, but also not really the best from Corrupted. It seems like GDB with a double kill already with a huge shatter finds everybody. That's a penta.
Oh,
that's a team kill.
Oh, yeah, look, it's a really impressive performance from Ryan. But now look, like I said, like you had pointed out, Tommy B, he's used these Maywalls nearly too early, and nearly wasting the Maywall as such.
Yeah, but they finished that fight with only one shatter, that only one ult. This is huge for Yoinkers right now as they're coming back up. Even the questionable Johnny Scrims ulti there, maybe he expected them to push from the main side, but they're actually waiting for that to go. And it seems like Jamyoole are gonna go behind them and actually push the point. Already a good Maywall finally this time coming in from Tommy B. The charge doesn't find anyone and GDB seems to be at the corner. He almost gets taken down by that barrier, but he doesn't yet, and King Raptor actually finds himself taken out. Oh, but the huge Maywall actually blocking the Blizzard from Yoinkers' side as Haze goes down. This point is already kind of decided for Jamyoole. Even though they're gonna stall here, Yoinkers don't really have much to do, and Maisie G just with the cleanup. This was really smartly played.
Yeah, good rotation from Jamyoole there. A poor rotation from Yoinkers. The rotation idea was nice, but King Raptor didn't rotate with them and was on his own behind trying to get a pick. And unless you get an early pick, you're going to be too vulnerable and you're going to get picked off, which is what happened. So when the long fight came, they just weren't able to win it because they were down to Kree.
Well, when you are Yoinkers, you really have to kind of take these gambles, right? Because you never know what's going to happen. They might just invest everything, or they might just dry push, and they might take you out with that. But a huge grab actually finds 5 people, and a high noon goes out as well, Blizzard as well. So many ultis being pressed right now, but only Entirety going down with Haze. It seems like a huge shatter actually from Misty. Finds a lot of people, and he even blocks it from GDB. This is really well played, but it seems like Yoinkers still have a bit of an advantage on the man side. As Tommy just trying to 1v1 King Raptor and finally wins, but Maisie G with the support from the back. Jamyoole found their rhythm again.
Yeah, this is an impressive Jamyoole. These rotations are really catching Yoinkers out. They're taking the high ground, then coming off the high ground with speed and grav, catching Yoinkers out of the position. This is a good Jamyoole team, and a Jamyoole now to have momentum with them and have the time bank. And Yoinkers could be in trouble here.
Yeah, well, Yoinkers can't really be aggressive on this map, can they? Because it's so close quarters. Right now, a huge grav again finds 4 people and 4 squishy people, but King Raptor finds a double kill in the back with that grav. The triple actually comes through. And it seems like Yoinkers with only 1 ultimate, or no, with actually 3 ultimates there, excuse me, managed to get a team kill.
Yeah, I don't like the use of the trios. The Grav May combo is a combo that will always win you a team fight. Use a Grav, pull in 2 or 3, and you follow with the May ult so that if the people don't die from the Grav, they'll definitely be frozen. But I don't like the window use there. Window is such a strong ult that you can nearly take a team fight on its own way. And when you're using Grav and May ult, you don't need window to follow up with. And it's an ult they wish they probably would have had for this fight.
2 headshots on from King Raptor actually gets him a lot of ult charge here. He might just find another high noon as this fight goes on. But Jamyoole are really well grouped up. They know what to do. They're very coordinated. Already the Baptiste goes out. This might be huge from Rafa, but they're actually hiding. Yoinkers are hiding, and they get Brigitte out of position and taken out. Huge grab actually coming in from Fleischwurst. But Johnny Scrims might have saved them with a huge shatter coming in from GDB. He gets taken out by Fleischwurst, who is at the high ground. The positioning here was everything, and it seems like Jamyoole just had a better one.
Yeah, very smart play from Jamyoole. They caught Brigitte out on the Lucio with the window. She was caught underneath and ended up getting picked off by Macy G, who dropped. Look, I think this Kingsrow game has been down to ult usage. I think Jamyoole have just been that bit more kind of better at using their ults, cleaner
and also a bit better coordinated, I think, with a huge blizzard going on. Both of the tanks get taken out by GDB with just a charge, and it seems like King Raptor doesn't really manage to find anyone with high noon, getting taken out by Fleischwurst. Tommy B also pushing on to Johnny Scrims and Corrupted. This is really good pushing, even though their main tank is in there. Jamyoole are still finding themselves a lot of picks here.
Yeah, look, and they have ults now, Jamyoole, to follow up with this. This could very easily be a 2-minute push.
Alright, but high noon from the back takes out Johnny Scrims as King Raptor finds the trade, and already a hammer down, finds only the Zarya. But is it enough? Yes, it is, as Misty just pushes in there with Maisie G, who finds so many picks. And that's 2-minute push left.
Yeah, very strong push from Jamyoole with 2 minutes remaining. That's very, very comfortable. That's giving yourself a chance to have another attack if need be with with all ults built up. Look, I think this is going to be a hard ask now from Yoinkers to come back from. Look, it very easily can, but Jamyoole shown so strong in this rush comp, one that they did not show up too well for on Nepal, and really catching Yoinkers out. The ult usage alone, I think, is just phenomenal from Jamyoole. The ult rotations are very, very smart with the rolls. They're not overusing them, but they're not underusing them, and they're using them aggressively to win a fight, like we've seen in that second point with the rotation on the high ground. They were a 5v6 because they still had Bat pushing card, but they still went off the high ground with speed. Used grab, followed up with the Mayo and won the fight. And I think that bit of aggression, that bit of cuteness is what's going to drag Jamyoole over the line in this map, I think.
Right, but Jamyoole's also just shown us that they really are well coordinated. They know when to push together and they never break formation, right? As we've not really seen that from Yoinkers. They just kind of do their own thing, play individually, but it always seems to work out because they have such good players. So this is really just a fight of individuality versus team play.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamyoole, both teams are really, really strong individually as players. But I think Yoinkers now at a disadvantage when it comes to the team play. They're not playing as a team as much as Jamyoole are currently.
And it seems like Jamyoole's gonna hold that restaurant spot, that hotel spot, by themselves. Nobody's really pushing, they're just scouting each other out. And it seems like even though they have the info, Yoinkers just don't know what to do here. They're waiting on it, and Jamyoole seems to be rotating with a huge Maywall. Actually finds GDB out of position, a lot of damage going through. King Raptor get taken out. What's gonna happen here anymore? Are there gonna be any more picks, or are Yoinkers just gonna go back? Because this is already an unwinnable fight in my opinion from them. As GDB goes down and out of position, they have to go back here. Haze Diva as well getting killed. And they'd rather just get killed here. Oh, actually, the Reaper finds themselves back to base. And even in their own base, Fleischwurst still managed to get the pick on King Raptor. This is a lot of charge, a lot of damage.
Very clutch play from ACG, going on the flank there, catching out King Raptor on the Cree. When you run this May, if the May wall doesn't work, the Reaper is better mid-fight. He's stronger. So if your May wall doesn't get you that pick, you're in trouble. But Maisie G did get the pick on the Cree.
And another amazing rotation from Jamyoole. They preemptively knew they were going to push, so they went back. The counter charge from GDB and the nano... Is this the nano? No, it's not. Excuse me, just the high noon coming in from Maisie G. Doesn't find anyone, but it's good for zoning off. And already another fight won by Jamyoole. Just by sheer picks. Playing together, not getting taken out. just means that they have more time to actually find those game-winning picks.
Yeah, this is the Jamyoole of season 1. They just used 2 ults there. They used the high noon and they used window, and now they have Grav and Mail to follow up with. Even if they don't need the Grav or the Mail, they'll just have Grav, and Brigitte won't have the beat built up in time.
And even though they're playing back here, they're just way too fast with the solo Grav onto King Raptor finds the first pick, and already Yoinkers are uninitiated from continuing this fight. Even though the wind wall goes up, it's definitely not enough with a huge shatter coming in from Misty. Oh my god, this is just a roll coming in on the defense of Jamyoole.
Oh yeah, this is just a whitewash of a defense. We're seeing a bit of a difference now between the Baps here. Rafa with a very good window. Johnny Scrims for some reason panicked and pulled his window when the fight was already lost. There was no need for that. You could have saved your window.
And sadly, this wasn't the first time he's done it, but already the Blizzard goes out to zone them out. And Maisie G, even though he gets shattered, he's not taken out. Tommy B gets taken out himself though. And finally, is this gonna be Yoinkers finally getting their initiative and actually going in? But it doesn't seem like it. High Noon goes out from the left side from King Raptor, finds Rafa, and this might be enough. Antarctic, even though he finds the kill onto King Raptor and Corrupted goes down as well, the Grav might be enough for Jamyoole to bring this back. This is such a chain of events that I can't really foresee here. But Misty and it seems like Flatewurst are just doing so much work.
Flatewurst and Dazaria is having an absolute field day here at the minute on this defense, especially. He's used 2 Gravs now in the time before Hayes has even gotten to use his first Grav, and Yoinkers are in trouble at the minute, especially with ults. I just think.
Oh, they definitely are.
Yeah.
But look at this, right? It's such a good rotation, and already the Blossom goes out. He doesn't even find anyone, even though the Grav is huge, right? The Sound Barrier goes out, saves everyone, and Maisie G manages to find the double pick before even the barrier goes out. And even though it does, they can't really save GDB there, can they? And again, Yoinkers just can't really do much. This is just way too much of a difference on the defense. My god. I was not expecting Yoinkers to get so rolled here.
Yeah, this is genuinely a role. Maisie G is playing such a smart McCree. This is what we said. This is why he's strong at. He has caught Yoinkers out over and over again in this map with flanks, coming around catching a pick from behind, getting a high noon, and they haven't copped it. They just haven't copped these flanks.
They haven't, but already so many ults are being pressed. Actually, that Shadow doesn't find anyone. The huge Grav actually finds a 6-man. The barrier actually protects everyone, and it seems like finally Misty gets taken out. Rafa as well. Is this enough, Yoinkers? Can you push it from overtime? Yes, you can, because already it's a 3v6. You shouldn't lose this. King Raptor with a Hanzo pick actually manages to finally find some picks. There you go.
Yeah, Yoinkers getting this overtime push, but even that alone, it's not looking promising. They have to push through second point, which is such a hard point to push, and third point again, which is harder even again. We do have Shatter and we do have Mayo coming up onto the side of. Yeah,
I really think the truest MVP here is Antarctic with those speed boosts. He's always been the one to initiate the fights and always been the one to kind of coordinate his teams to where he has to go. And look at this already. They're all together. They're waiting for that speed boost, and as it goes on through, they can just roll on through Yoinkers because they really don't care. They have the advantage. Even though Rafa gets taken out, no shield here, they go back and they know when to rotate. You have a disadvantage, you go back. There you go. Oh, but the Grav is just too much, and already it finds a 3-man, and kind of just cleans everybody up. Even though it went against what I said still holds true in my opinion, right?
Yeah, it was unfortunate Rafa got picked off there. They were down their BAP, down the ammo for the Grav. But Rafa, this support duo on Jamyoole have stepped it up tenfold, especially this map here. It's definitely been a difference in supports. Rafa his windows have been on point, his immos have been on point. Like you said, Antarctic speed boosts and these rotations out of Jamyoole have been all down to these.
There you go, already the pick onto King Raptor from Tommy B, and already it seems like both the wind wall and the barrier goes out. Even though another shatter actually gets used over by Misty too. So many ults being pressed, Jamyoole just had to do it to regain control of the payload.
Yeah, they invested a lot of ults there. They invested Blizzard, they invested Shatter, they invested Window. However, they do have Grav coming up. They have Beat. Maisie G, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets High Noon up again. And we do have the Dragon, the B, and Window for Yoinkers as well. So a pretty even fight, but I think the Grav might make the difference.
It might, but let's see how they use it, right? Because if you use it around a corner, the rank can just swing about, get a few picks, and go out. But already the The wind wall goes out, and actually the Antarctic gets taken off. He isn't able to use his barrier. That might just be huge. But Misty with a triple kill fire strike it through the graph. That was huge. But can they pull it off? Can Yoinkers actually hold this off with only Cryptid and a Haze Diva? Yes, they can. That was amazing.
Very messy fight, a lot of ults invested, but now that swings in Yoinkers' favour. Now Yoinkers have this grab coming up, which in theory should build, especially after Antarctic using beat, should win them a team fight. But look, you'll never know what the way this game's going. You don't know what way
But the
things could swing.
lucky King Raptor kill with the dragons onto Antarctic not being able to barrier that was huge. Even though it was lucky, it was definitely huge. And there you go. Seems like already just a few fights, a few charges going on in the bout. A wall also might be thrown up there, but nothing really standalone happens. As Rafa and Maisie G get their ultimates, as well as Misty, who gets a huge shatter 4-man, and that decides this fight. That was huge.
Yeah, very, very. Again, Maisie G getting so much value out of this McCree. They need. In previous times, they're forcing him onto the Tracer, which he has been strong on today. But McCree, Widow, Ash, these heroes, he's strongest at, so take advantage of them. And I wonder will Yoinkers catch this flank out?
Right, but let's see, because they haven't really yet, and already the Blizzard goes out. Seems to have caught both of the tanks. And this is huge. GGB gets taken out with King Raptor. Even though Misty actually gets traded by the High Noon from AZG. Doesn't find anything, and he gets taken out by Haze, who seems to be the only one just might be going back, but no, not yet.
I mean, that's the oldest trick in the book. I mean, if you one thing is if you don't see a Ryan, he's on a flank. But if you don't see an entire team, surely Yoinkers, you'd cop that that's where they're coming from. I mean, it's basic level stuff here. And they fell straight into the trap, and a huge ult from Tommy, and it was just easy pickings after that. And now we're down to the last fight.
We are down to our last fight. Let's see if they can push this through overtime, but already a huge double graph here with the Blossom. Actually gets stunned and taken away. Corrupted can't really do much, but this is a huge shatter coming in from GDB, who finds a triple kill with the help of his team. Maybe it's enough, maybe it is not, but it seems like this push might be going on to the last. Can anybody touch here? Can anybody touch from Jamyoole?
G has been very clutch with these shatters so far. I've been quite impressed. All his shatters have been quite good. He has hit this thing. It's his second team shatter, third at least.
Oh no, poor Misty went on under the map. He can't really do much there because Brigitte boops him off, but it seems like everybody is going to be able to back and get onto that payload. But I don't think it's going to be enough. They don't have their main tank there. And already a Blizzard actually is pretty huge coming in from Tommy B. Can he help it? That's a 3-man Blizzard. And the High Noon actually coming in from AZG as well. Finds the pick onto Johnny Scrims. And there you go with the Cloud9. Coming in from Jamyoole and winning the 3rd map. Oh my god.
Very, very impressive performance from Jamyoole. I think I'm just impressed with these rotations alone. All the rotations have been so clean, and if they didn't work, it was just unfortunate. But at the end, that flank, I don't know how Yoinkers fell for it, but it worked very well. But yeah, a big shout out to Maisie G, who's McCree was just outstanding this fight, and same to Rafa, whose bat plays was very strong.
I still think that Antarctic was the true MVP there. He was the one who coordinated his whole team with all those rotations, really.
Absolutely. Their rotations were just outstanding.
I love to see that. I really hope I see more of those matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's see what Yoinkers decide to pick here. Is it a control map now?
Yeah, we are now on to Assault, and they've picked Volskaya. It looks like. I expect to see, yeah, it should be interesting. We'll see probably maybe a double bubble comp out with Jamyoole. I would expect to see this kind of a more dive comp from Yoinkers with running the Ash. On defense, they like to run this double sniper comp with the Winston Diva, play more passive and allow your DPS to get huge value. But look, to be honest, I think Yoinkers' heads are all over the place now at the minute. Jamyoole have caught them off guard. They were not expecting this, I don't think. I don't think anybody was expecting Jamyoole to come out playing like this after the first few games. So look, God only knows what both teams will run.
Right. Well, Volskaya is definitely one of those maps that it's really, you see a lot of one-tricks play, right? Because it's really a niche map which you have to know it to really play it. And if you really got that first point down, second point is just a big open space you can get so many picks with. And it's really just an open plane.
Yeah, a lot of high ground here. A lot of opportunities for the Widowmakers, the hands-up players to get more value. Um, yeah, it's a map really opens up. This map really opens up for all sorts of comps. Like double shield comps, rush comps can be run here if need be.
But
Dive comps.
what
Yeah,
I really want to see here is that I hope Jamyoole isn't gonna get over in their heads and say, well, this is match point. We can play as hard as we can, and if it doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out because they've kind of been on a roll here the last two matches. I don't know.
yeah, definitely. And I know this is a Volskaya is a favorite of Yoinkers. However, I haven't been too impressed. Um, they haven't been too convincing, especially for a map that they like. This is a map that they pick. I think the comp that they run, it can be a bit outdated if it's not run perfectly. But look, I definitely think they're going to need to change something up here because their Jamyoole have caught them out. Um,
I
but yeah,
think,
look,
yeah. In my opinion, Johnny Scrims here is the one that has to change the most. Even though he's been hitting all those healing quotas, if I say so, he's not really been when playing Ana, not really been hitting too many sleeps or too many bionades. Even though there's the occasional one too on the Baptiste as well. Haven't really seen much of that either. Not much picks, not much healing. I don't know. He's kind of been just under the covers there, not really being his best, playing his best.
yeah, I think definitely both. I think the support difference here has been just a bit off. I think, look, we haven't seen much of Johnny on the Ana, and when you've seen him on the Ana, it's what he's strongest at, or the Zen. It's what he's known for. This is what he's he's best at. So I would like to maybe to see this change happen because Rafa has been so strong on this BAP, and has been really strong on the Zen as well. Um, Look, I think Yoinkers will run something different, and I do expect to see the Ana, especially under defense here. Um, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, well, it's definitely gonna come down to team compositions. We've seen their skills. Each individual can play really well by themselves, but if you really want to take Volskaya, it's really gonna come down to whoever has the most holding down power, the most turtle power, right? Because
mm,
first point, that first choke, if they get around it, it's really hard to take over back. And again, as I said before, a lot of high ground, a lot of open space on the second one. You really have to play with your head here. Because if you don't, then you kind of just are gonna get rushed over.
yeah, absolutely. With all these high grounds, this is where you do see it's unlike Kingsrow, where it's very team based, very kind of like you've seen Jamyoole do these rotations. You can see a lot more individual skill here on this map with these high grounds, especially with a lot of comps the teams run. You see a lot more kind of individual pop offs, especially depending a lot on the DPS here. But I do think this suits Jamule. I think Yoinkers have played into their hand. I think you do have Macy G, who's such a strong hit scan. I think yeah, I think when you have these high grounds, it suits him. However, they do go on to this rush style comp, so I don't imagine they'll be holding the high grounds unless he's on his own. And we'll see this. Yeah, this is what Youngers have been running. This ball diva dive comp with the Sombra and Ash. We'll see probably ball go around the left hand side of the map on a flank. Sombra will probably be scouting, and then the rest of the team will rotate depending on where Jamule are playing, and I think they're going to get caught here now because Jamule are running a rush comp, and they are going to run this comp super aggressive early on. They're going to want to catch Yankers off guard, and they clearly know what route Yankers like to play, where they're positioned right now. So they've clearly done their VOD review.
They have, but it seems
Yeah,
like I'm kind of unimpressed by Johnny going for the Zen because the Lucio for the rotations might have been just that bit better. But it seems like, hey, he's actually found the whole enemy team and is gonna back off. But will he be able to do it? He gets frozen off, and he already gets out of the. He already is the baby diva. Johnny Scream's also going a bit too far and getting taken out. Hayes as well, and already doesn't look good for Yoinkers. Even though Tommy B actually finds gets picked off in the end by himself at the back.
yeah. Where the idea of the rush worked out, and they did do their homework. Yoinkers somehow managed to get 2 picks, which is huge now because they do have the spawn advantage. Um, so it's very interesting.
Well, they do, but both of the tanks are still there, right? And if
Mm.
Jamyoole are going to be able to play this correctly, both of the supports I can sustain them in the corner there. And even though 2 ticks might go off on the oh no, already Misty getting taken out. Not much left to do as Fleischwurst goes along with him. Only the DPS really to hold there and exert pressure onto the point. Actually, Rafa finds the pick on GDB, but that's not enough. Corrupted finds himself back with a trade. Maisie G, Tommy B all get taken out, and this first point goes over to Jamyoole.
Yeah, very nice attack from Yoinkers. There, the switch up onto the Zarya was nice. They're playing the Zarya ball comp, a very common comp, especially at the higher ranks, and change it to Winston. And definitely a nice change of pace for the sports hero. Yoinkers playing a bit better, which is needed.
Well, look, Brigida actually is waiting for his whole team, not going in by himself, being a usual Lucio. And it seems like the high ground has been taken over a bit by Jamyoole, but is it going to be enough, right? They have the high ground, they're just waiting for a pick now from King Raptor or Corrupted. But I don't think that's going to really happen with Corrupted being in the back there, just farming up the EMP he already has. The Bob goes on through, and the fight starts with a 5-man EMP. This is going to be huge, but Tommy B, can he find anything? No, he cannot. He gets taken out by the minefield of GDB. Maisie G in the top actually finds a kill onto Johnny Scrims, but he gets taken out himself. Rafa, with the huge damage actually coming in from Hayes to kill Hayes. And it seems like this point is just a brawl going on here. 2 ticks, 2 whole ticks taken on by Jamyoole in that one fight.
Yeah, and this is the problem we see with 2CP now. It's even though the Yoinkers invested a heavy amount of ults there, they did not team wipe. And allowed Jamyoole to get a pick early on, and allowed him to get another pick later on. And when you start getting these picks, they start adding up, especially when your team is so close to the spawn doors. It's very hard, and it was unfortunate with the mines. Half of them ended up actually near the ceiling, which is unlucky.
But they did find a pick, and a huge grab actually comes over here. Even though the barrier goes out, the High Noon breaks the shield, and a double kill comes over. A triple kill actually comes on over from the side of Jamyoole. There you go. That's a good stop. And I actually have to correct myself there. The first point actually got taken over by the Yoinkers. I got used to the last rotation.
No problem. Yeah, look, I was quite smart. It was a good grab coming out from Fleischwurst, and a smart window from Johnny there to put up in front of the grab to try stop Jamyoole playing aggressive into it. But the High Noon, I think, alone it was too strong and put too much damage and pressure on them.
But already a huge first pick onto Corrupted. He can't really farm that EMP anymore. Even though the pulse bomb went out by Tommy B, trying to find a pick, he doesn't really manage to. He still got that pressure in the back. 3 minutes left. They're really taking this slowly, Yoinkers, they are, but they might be playing this with their head a bit and just waiting for ults, just farming those, waiting for everybody to get grouped up, and then one huge Q ulti press. Oh, but it already seems to go on. A huge grab actually finds somebody, but actually, the Reinhardt with the huge Jamyoole shatter there kind of deters everybody from going in too hard. Even though King Raptor gets taken out, High Noon actually used. Not to the best of extent, but EMP goes out, finds 5 people. Is it enough? Can they stop this? Can they stop this push, which is heavily invested in ultimates here, with Johnny Scrims also using his? They're still fighting on there. GDB is just not letting this point go, and the huge shatter actually finds 4 people. Will he be able to actually finish anyone off? No, he won't. He gets taken off himself. With Tommy B with a huge amount of damage going in through with that Tracer pick. It's huge. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not impressed at all with that from Yoinkers. They were down 2, and they invested heavily into that. They invested the EMP, they invested window, then they invested shatter. And look, this isn't Kingsrow. This is 2CP. Jamyoole have a severe advantage of respawns, and you just can't. When you lose 1 or 2, you just can't invest those ults into this. You had 2 minutes and 1 tick. They could have regrouped and come back in again with the EMP. 6v6 instead of 4v6.
Yeah, but already the solo grab actually onto GDB is huge, and the Blossom in the back, King Raptor finds a pick onto Rafa. That might have been even bigger if he actually positioned it well. But there you go, High Noon actually finds a triple kill from AZG, which is huge right now for Jamyoole, because they were kind of up until losing that one. I don't understand what the Yoinkers is doing. Why are they not just building up? They only have 1 tick to take. Build up 6 ults, go in, and then win, right? But Oh well.
Yeah, now we're in trouble. They're going to have a fight now where they won't be able to use any ults. They might have window. Johnny will have window in time, and Hayes might have grab if they play a bit slowly, and they might have shatter. And look, the Jamyoole don't have any ults coming up. So look, this could be a fight win for Yoinkers if they play this smart.
Well, they have to, right? Because if they don't, they're just gonna lose this. This is close to the last fight, and already a target goes down. This is a huge pick, actually. No barrier for the side of Jamyoole, even if they had one. But it seems like Hayes was not gonna be able to supply a graph here. Misty actually just swinging about and actually finding GDB with a shatter. This is huge, but then again, pulse bomb being used as well. Jamyoole just with the defense. They're playing so well.
I think that was a bit of a miscommunication on the side of Yoinkers. They had a huge rotation around high ground, and they got that early pick. But Hayes Diva didn't go with them and fell onto the low ground in main, and just got killed by Tommy because he was on his own and he wasn't able to build up that grab. So they weren't able to carry the momentum after that first pick.
Right, but only 10 seconds left. Somebody has to touch the point, and there's so many ults coming in from Yoinkers. 2 of them being wasted completely by the tanks there. But Maisie G, how many can he find with High Noon? 0, actually. The point still being taken on. Overtime, 4 people on the payload, on the point. It's very well contested, and there you go. A bit of C9 coming in from Jamyoole at the end there. But from 5 minutes and a half over to overtime, I think it was very well played.
Yeah, again, look, it took 6 ults for them to take that point in overtime. They could have done that 2 minutes ago. You built up 6 ults, like... Yeah, I think it was a confused Yoinkers on that attack. I think it was panicking. I think it was maybe someone on the team might have thought they could win the fight, so they invested in ult, and then it was like dominoes after that. Another ult was thrown in, then another one after that, and it was just hard to watch. I think they did get to 2 minutes with 0, so if they do well on this defense, I think it is possible. But look, all Jamyoole really have to do here is run comps with strong ults like EMP, Grav, build up 6 ults for first point, build up your 6 ults for
Right,
second point.
it's just TCP.
Yeah, and that's it. I do expect to see this. Yeah, like I said,
Oh, the pause coming in.
I do expect to see
a bit of a pause coming in from everybody. It seems like Discord is a bit lagging for Maisie G. But what I was also wanted to say is, right, this is 2CP, just ults win you everything. But coming in right now, maybe Yoinkers can find themselves with a bit of hope here, because Jamyoole's defense, at least this game, these matches, all these matches, seems to be absolute. You can't really get through it. They're just playing so well. We haven't really seen all that much of the same caliber on attack for them, right? So this might be Yoinkers' chance to really bunker down, hope they get the rotations right, and really win this on defense if they don't want to push it over to overtime. Because if they push it over to overtime and it's a 2-2, they really are looking very, very grim.
Yeah, look, this is a comp now on defense that Yoinkers do like to run. Instead, however, they have changed up a small bit. Instead, normally they would run maybe the Hanzo instead of the Echo, but they've run the Echo this time, which I actually quite like the change. But they'll play this defensive style now, where they'll set King Raptor, and I presume Brigitte onto the high ground. On one side, they'll set Johnny up on the other side, which now they don't have another sniper to run with, but we'll set him up with Corrupted, and both tanks will play a defense and allow their DPS to get picks or play slowly. G will contest the point, will get up onto the point. Hayes will contest the point if he needs to, or will peel. It looks like we'll see double bubble on the side of Jamyoole. So they'll be looking to send Misty in with the Genji, and I do think the Genji pick here for once is actually smart. It's 2CP, like you said. Build up ults, build up your blade, build up all your ults for one. Throw them out on the first point. Do the same for the second point, and we know how good Tommy B is on this Genji. I think this is going to be a hard ask for Yoinkers. This point, I'm not giving up hope, but I think, especially with a comp that they're running, where they don't have any huge ults, it's going to be a hard ask against a comp which is literally the complete opposite, which has 6 huge ults on their side.
Yeah, well, this might just be counter picks against counter picks that are very lucky for Jamyoole here. But maybe, just maybe, King Raptor can find those headshots and really come back for his team. We will have to see, though, how Jamyoole decides to cooperate on this and how to decide where to go and where to push first. Already, it seems like GDB has to fall back. There's just way too many people, and the whole of Yoinkers are in the back in the high ground. They're playing very defensively here, which might not be the best idea. They gave up the first choke, seeing as Jamyoole are playing up with the aggressive comps here with the monkey. Again, GDB just way too pushed as Misty just goes in, takes more damage, and goes back. First pick, Maisie G getting in that Brigitte. Mercy gets taken out. Oh, but it's actually a trade for Fleischwurst, which is much better in my opinion. No more pushing power onto the side of Jamyoole, as both of the tanks get taken out. But only Hayes really to hold this on. Tommy B in the back really actually got taken out by Corrupted. It's very messy now, but the first tick, has it been taken over by Jamyoole? No, it has not. Not yet, at least. Yes, it has. The Nano Diva can't really hold that on, and Misty with a kill in the back for Johnny Scrims. This is very messy. It seems like they're waiting onto the payload, and I don't know what Yoinkers are doing here. They're not really pushing. They're just waiting and poking on from the back. Oh no. First point gets taken out.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to watch now. And the staggers as well. Now, I know there's an insta-spawn, but still, they invested in Nano, which I don't agree with, but look.
And now where it's everybody being staggered, this is the best time for Jamyoole to push and win it all, right? Rafa with the Nano onto Tommy B, the double kill there with the blade. Even the dragon goes out, but I don't think it's enough, honestly. They find no picks with 3 ultimates, and already Tommy B seems to be exerting so much damage that, oh no, the MP also goes out from the side, but Fleischwurst finds a pick onto King Raptor. GDB goes out as well. This is hard to watch, you were right, but Yoinkers, they're not even contesting this. Hanzo can't even do it, and they're already taken out. 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah, look, this is very one-sided. After Nepal, this has been a very one-sided match. Like I said, that defensive comp they're running is quite an outdated comp. They had no real ults that they needed. They had wasted the Nano. I just don't agree with it. They were safe enough that Jamyoole couldn't push them in through Mega Room. They hadn't even given up a tick, and they invested Nano onto the Diva. You had Ball coming back. You had people coming back. Give up a tick. Give up 2 ticks if you need to, and then invest your Nano when you have a better chance. Instead, I don't know. It was just poor decision making, I think, in overall from Yoinkers. They need to recognize when a fight is over. Jamyoole got the point, and still Yoinkers were still fighting. Hayes got demeched when the fight was over. It's just, yeah.
What I was really unimpressed by was that Yoinkers were just poking out as the first point was just being taken. Nobody was really staying on there to stop the point from being taken. That's not how it works, Yoinkers. You have to actually be on the point to stop it. I don't think anybody was really in charge there. That's the problem.
Yeah, and now we have a problem here where we see them running this double bubble comp again. All you needed to build up is these 6 ults, and it's a team win.
Yeah, but it's only 1 tick, right? What can they do? They have to draw a Sigurd. And 4 minutes and a half already. The fight's going on, and somebody's already taking point. It's a Sombra. Oh my god. Well, it seems like... actually, it's not Sombra, it's Tommy B. Excuse me, but he gets taken out by Johnny Scrims. Might have not been the best call there, because now everybody has to regroup. But they have the time, and it seems like Misty's just gonna go in, get some ult charge, go back. They're playing this very smartly because they're just waiting on their ults. That's all you need to do, get 6 ults and win, but they are in the heat of the moment, so decision making might be a bit buggy here. As Tommy B finally got backed, Misty's actually hacked, and it seems like Johnny Scrims has invested a coalescence that early as Maisie G gets taken out. Tommy B as well, looking on his last legs. Oh, escaped with 1 HP, but Misty didn't, and Rafa as well, being very pressured there. This whole fight is messy, but Yoinkers managed to find it back, and there's still hope. There is still hope,
Yeah,
but
there's still hope. Like, look, they have Hulks coming on their way now. They're running this rush style of comp as well. They're running the Lucio with this Diva Winston Reaper comp. It is a rush style comp, so they need to play super aggressive onto the stationary characters of Jamyoole to win this.
right. But already the EMP is coming up from AZG, and he's already behind enemy lines, almost hacking the Diva, but doesn't really manage to, and getting him to half HP. And the Ryuji no Kyokure, that's nanoed. Already the Dragon Blade is huge, but the grab is also there. So many ults being pressed here,
Oh,
just for their last hope. With that EMP and Diva Bomb combo, actually finds a double kill. That is huge. Can they take it? Doesn't seem like it, but oh, this is such a messy fight that I can't even tell you the outcome. But it seems like AZG is just standing in one spot and dealing damage. And it seems to be working out, as Jamyoole might have just won this.
Yeah, it's looking like a GG's.
GG's.
Yeah. Oh, it
3
was a
maps in a
very.
row.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that match now. I was expecting a lot more from Yoinkers. However, we're just talking about Jamyoole for a minute. What a huge performance from Jamyoole.
Right.
Genuinely, every player individually was just phenomenal. Their team play was the best I've seen it so far. The rotations, everything was just so strong. Um, and you can see even this play of the game that shows you how well Fleshward Zarya was all match. I mean, but look, a uh, huge performance from Jamyoole. But Yoinkers, on the other hand, I think Yoinkers, you need to go back to the drawing board here. You've picked Volskaya every time, and it has just not looked good. It's been messy. The comp you're running on defense, it's been very outdated. It's an old style comp. It's just not going to work. The second comp you ran on the rush style comp, he looked a lot stronger on with that Winston Diva. I think maybe look into running that more often. I think your ults so far this game was just not what it usually was. You're usually smarter with your ults. You're usually kind of using one or two ults a fight, winning the fight with that ults instead of investing 4 or 5 ults in it. I think it's a poor performance from Yoinkers. I think definitely they go back and look at this. They're going to pick a lot of stuff out, which will help them for their final match next week against Crimson, who are one of the strongest, if not the strongest team in the league. But I think definitely they're going to have to go back to the drawing board with a lot of these. And kind of look back at how they individually played as well, because it was not a good performance from them.
Right, and not every fight, but most of them were just so messy that even if I could catch everything that was going on, there was still so much that was going, how do I say this? Like, kind of under the wraps, behind the scenes, old tracking, old management, people getting a bit ticked off, people maybe just forgetting that, just getting those jitters before a game, right? Because as we've seen, Yoinkers had it on into Nepal. They knew what they were doing. They pushed in as hard as they could, and they won it. But they just, after the first pick, they went on the second map. They went kind of a bit low. They waited to see how Jamyoole responded. Jamyoole managed to get so many huge picks and so many huge grabs. Not even the grabs, right? But everything happened so well that, well, as you can see, Jamyoole won it all because Yoinkers were just caught off unexpected, and then they lost their whole fighting style. So I don't know if this was just a good day, a really good day for Jamyoole, or if Yoinkers just had a bad one. It happens, you know. But
Yeah, it happens. It's unfortunate that it happened to in this game. It was very good to see Jamyoole finally put up to the level they're usually at. But again, Yoinkers have been so strong this league. It was so disappointing to watch that side of Yoinkers come out. But look, hopefully now, I think our next match is on. I think the next match could be on Thursday, and I think we have Crimson and Essence up on Thursday. I think is what it seems to be. So again, that should be a good game. If you're watching this, definitely come see that one.
right. But I have to remind you guys that I am only a guest play-by-play caster. I hope everybody enjoyed this game and hope to see you guys on the next one. I will be following a bit more onto this league as I haven't really been up to speed yet. First time seeing Jamyoole, a very good impression of them so far. But I think this is the end. If you guys go check out the Discord server, you might find the statistics for it as well. see who did best, who did worst, what kind of went down behind the scenes that we casters couldn't really see in the moment. And I guess that's it. Any closing words over there, Kev?
No, I think that wraps it all up. An interesting game overall. And look, we'll see you in the next one.
Yep. See you everybody in the next one. Bye bye.